can't see.
My friend is a little bit nervous.
Why are you putting it to your own?
Nervous. This is my friend Todd. He is a cave toad. He's a very young cave toad, as you can see.
You're unmuted.
Adorable.
No, I'm trying to get in there, but I don't want to.
As you can see, super cute. Now, the
Sorry,
reason I
Tess.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to hear you. Is there a way to put your volume up a little on the microphone?
Sure, let me see.
Yeah, sorry. You were doing. It was very clear before when I was talking to you. All of a sudden, it just got very low.
Okay. How about now? Can you hear me now?
That's better. Yeah, yeah. If you could do it.
Okay, I'll talk louder. All right, so this is Todd the cave toad. He is an adorable little toad, my little toad friend right here. Okay, like I said, so the reason I grabbed my towel right here is because my friend Todd is a very messy boy. See, he doesn't like to be held. He's, very a little grumpy about that. And sometimes he likes to let me know that he's upset by going pee. He has lots of water stored up in him. As you can see, he's kind of round. He is not fat. He did not eat too much food. He actually has a lot of water absorbed in his body. And that, toads and frogs need lots of moisture. And that's, they store it in their bodies as a way to keep it on them so they can always stay nice and moist. And sometimes when he gets cranky, he will just pee all over me, and it is like a super soaker. It's really like somebody popped a water balloon. It's quite the spectacle. So we're going to hope he doesn't do that because I have a computer right in front of me, and that would end to the show ending up a little sooner than we would hope. So, all right, so a couple cool things about my friend Todd here is one, is that he's got these beautiful big eyes that Todd actually uses to help him eat, which is really insane. And I'm going to tell you why. Because my friend Todd here, he does not have sharp teeth, and he doesn't have sharp claws. So when he's hunting for food, he can't really chew his food. He has to swallow it whole. But if he's eating something big, that's going to be kind of hard. He can kind of use his hands, but not really. So he will actually use his eyeballs. Because when he swallows his food, his eyeballs will go into his head and help push the food down his throat. Isn't that weird? I'll show you right now. See, look. Boop. See? His tongue. His eyes just disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah. And they didn't go anywhere. See, they came right back. I didn't hurt him. Oh, stop it. He's cranky right now. But see, I didn't hurt him at all. His guys popped into his head, and now they popped right back out. And that helps the bunny eat. Isn't that great? So that is really great for Todd because, like I said, Todd doesn't have any sharp teeth or claws. So that helps him out a lot. So another cool thing about my friend Todd here is that he is poisonous. So we shouldn't eat Todd. These two things right here that look like shoulder pads from the 80s, these right here, those are actually called, come on, Todd, poison sacs. So if something were to take a bite out of Todd, the poison sacs would burst, and whoever ate him, they're not going to live very long afterwards. It's not going to end well for that person. So that's why we don't eat Todd. And it's very good for him because he doesn't have a whole lot of other ways to protect himself. The only other way is kind of hiding in plain sight with his camouflage type pattern on his back. You can see all the different color variation and the bumps. It kind of looks like a forest floor, which is perfect because that's the type of place that he likes to live. He loves to live in woodlands, open woodlands, and forest areas. So this pattern on his back right here, he can blend in plain sight, and that is great for when he is when he is hunting for food, because he is not a very ambitious hunter. He likes to sit in the dirt, get himself balled in, and he'll wait until something comes running along by, and he'll see it out of the corner of his eye, and then he's going to stick out his tongue, he's going to grab it, he's going to pull it in, and he's going to try and swallow it whole. All right, Todd. Todd is trying to just jump into the camera to say hi to you guys. So you can say a close look, say hello, Todd. He's trying to wave to you guys. Hi. All right, but he looks like he is about to pee all over me. So I'm going to put my friend Todd away. I'm going to take out somebody else. All right, guys? Okay. Bye, Todd. Okay. She is a Marshall ferret. Isn't she so cute? She's adorable. Now, as a Marshall ferret, she is actually a domesticated version of a wild type of ferret. Domesticated means that they were turned into pets. Just like there are dogs, you know, instead of just wolves, you know, you have dogs as your pets and wolves live out in the wild. It's the same thing. But she's giving me kisses. Marshall ferrets are what you have as pets, and their wildlife friends are the black-footed ferret. You see, he's giving me lots of kisses. So the cool thing about my friend, Mr. Ferret here, is that he is incredibly flexible. So his meals, who he likes to eat, he likes to eat prairie dogs. And prairies, they live in tunnel systems. So he will crawl into tunnels looking for food. Now, if he comes across something that he doesn't want to eat, that might want to eat him, he has to turn around and run away. So the way he can do that is by just bending his body. He's a super flexible animal. See, I can fold him in half, and he's cool with it. He's fine. He's just like, what's going on? I'm fine. What's happening? You know. So, I'm just gonna keep at it. I'm doing it.
Done.
These guys are popular. There are good reasons for it. They are incredibly playful. They act like kittens and puppies that never grow up. Even if they're adult size, they will always have this fun, puppy kitten-like behavior about them. That's just how they are. And that's because these little guys, these little stinkers, will eat or sleep. They will sleep around 18 to 20 hours a day. Isn't that insane? They sleep the entire day away. And so when they wake up, they have all this energy to kill. So they love to play, which makes them a really fun pet. I actually used to have 5 of these at once. It was pure chaos, but it was a lot of fun. The only thing to think about if you ever get one of these guys as a pet is that they do smell. They're a little bit smelly, and that's because they're cousins to the skunk. Now, they do not spray like a skunk does, but they have a natural musk. That's what it's called. And the musk makes it smell kind of like a musky basement. That's what they smell like. And what are you doing? So you always have to make sure that their cage is always clean. You know, because these guys are very, very messy. You know, they go to the bathroom quite often. You gotta clean up after them. You know, as a responsible pet owner. And so as long as if you do that, but still, it's just a natural musk that they have. And as someone who had them as pets, I will say I personally got used to it, and I don't even really smell it now. You know, I don't like it. He's stinky. He's a cute little stinky ferret, but he's sweet. You know. So there's somebody in the box is getting impatient. But that is my little good buddy here. Like I said, these guys are domesticated. They've been pets for a really long time. These guys have been pets since Egyptian times. There are certain paintings and things of people with these ferret buddies as pets. And she is great. She is a great shoulder pet. She loves to hang out on my shoulder. She'll crawl around. She'll crawl to the other side, and she'll make sure that she stays on herself. And that way she can help me and be my little assistant at work, which is fantastic. You know. So that is these guys are great little pets. I honestly loved my ferrets. They are so sweet. You know, they live around 8 years or so not a really long time, but that is pretty common with rodents in general. You know, but still super sweet creatures, very relaxed. Right now he seems pretty calm. Usually once they're up for a minute or two, they're running around, they're trying to crawl out of my hands. He's being okay, which is nice. You know, I don't need him squirming everywhere, but that's my little buddy, my little friend, Sally. I'm going to put her away, and I'll take out a new guy for us. All right. Okay. The next guy I'm going to bring out, she is a little baby. His name is Flash. I'll show you. See how fast he's trying to go. Isn't he very cute? Yeah, so he made a mess of himself. He likes poop in the box. They don't like sitting in the box. So this is my friend Flash. You can see how cute he is. Isn't he adorable? Say hi. Flash is a baby box turtle. So baby box turtles can be found all over the U.S. You can find them around here. And if you ever come across a turtle or any other wildlife for that reason, you want to leave them be because they're doing their own thing. They don't want to. They don't really want to be messed with humans, and that's honestly the safest and the best thing for these guys. You know, if you come across one of these turtles crossing the street, which we often do, with the help of mom and dad, we can have them take them over to the side of the road that they're facing. You never want to turn them around and put them where they came from because these guys are stubborn and they'll just turn right back and go for the road again. You know, it happens quite a bit. Now, my little friend is called a box turtle because of his shell. Now, all turtles and tortoises have their shell. They come with their shell out of the eggs, and it grows with them. So as he gets bigger, so does his shell. He never leaves it to go find a bigger shell like hermit crabs do. That is not what these do. This is his shell is part of his spine. Oops, sorry, keep adding. His shell is part of his spine, so it is a part of him. And if you ever come across a shell in the wild, that is just the shell. That is from a turtle that has already passed away. So, but the cool thing about him is, here, I'm gonna try, is that this guy has a door. So not only can he go inside his shell, which is really cool, he can actually close the door. So he can close it, so nothing can like pry it open and try to turn him into turtle soup. He doesn't have to worry about that. Any sort of troubling raccoons or something. I'm gonna see if I can get his head to poke in. Come on, come on. He's not scared of you guys. He wants to say hi. Come here. What are you doing? All right, I'm going to show you on his big brother, because I do have his older brother who is an adult, so I can show you what he looks like. And he's a little bit more scared in general. So, all right, so this is Happy's older brother. Say hi to Happy. All right, I'm going to show you what they mean, why they're called a box turtle. So I'm going to go. I know, it's rude. I'm rude. I'm poking you in the head. That's so mean. All right, but see, you look, and you close it up, and there you go. Just like a door to the front door to your house. Sorry. He can close his door and lock and close it up, and that way he can stay nice and safe. You know, he can live to see another day and not have to worry about that. And now, as you can see, this is what an adult box turtle looks like. They don't get a whole lot bigger than this, about 4 to 6 inches. This is a boy, and I can tell that he's a boy by the red markings on his face and his red eyes. Look at his angry, grumpy looking face. Doesn't he look so grumpy? Such an angry old man. But I still think he's cute, despite how grumpy he looks. You know, as you can see, this little guy, who's younger, see their two faces, he's younger, he's more brown coloration. You know, the red markings in his face and also in his shell and everything doesn't come out until adulthood, which is after about 5 or 6 years. You know, they take a long time before they get to adult age. And that's because turtles and tortoises in general, they live a long time. Like my friend Pack over here, this guy right here, he's around 45 years old. And he's still cooking. He's still doing good, you know. So, you know, he's fine. So that is something to consider if you ever decide to get a turtle or a tortoise as a pet, is that these guys can live a long, long time. Some species of tortoises, you might have to put them in your will because they might live longer than you. Isn't that crazy? It's pretty wild. But, you know, that's the cool thing about turtles. They're like peaceful little dinosaurs. You know, very cute, very sweet. Now, these guys are omnivores, which means that they like plants and vegetables and meat and insects. So, and when they're little, like this size, they will mostly focus on insects as well as staying near water sources so they can hunt in the water because they can catch little fish. It's easier for them to hunt, and they can use that protein to get nice and big and strong and get up to a little bit older. And as they get older, their diet becomes more balanced with plant life and such. You know, so that's a couple cool things about these guys. You know. Alrighty. So that is my friend Flash and Hack. I'm gonna put these guys away because they're a little stinky. So, and I'm gonna bring out the next guys for us. All right. I'm gonna put you back over here. Tac, isn't he so cute? Tic Tac is a chinchilla. Look at that adorable little face. It's like a mouse had a, had a baby with a bunny or something, or a squirrel, bushy tail. Adding somebody else. So, like I said, my friend here is a chinchilla. She is a rodent that lives high up in the Andes Mountains, where it's really, really cold. So this girl, where are you going? Where are you going? It's okay. It's okay. She's very little timid. She hasn't been out to shows in forever, so she's, been used to her vacation. So, like I said, she's a chinchilla who lives high up in the Andes Mountains, where it's really, really cold. And since my friend here can't go to the store to get a winter jacket like you and I can, she has to rely on her fur. It's okay. What are you doing? You're not going to get comfortable. There you go. What are you doing? You're not going anywhere. Here. She's trying to go out to the camera. Come here. Come here. Relax. 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 Sorry, technical difficulties. Being a little squirmy. This is one fast girl, so I don't want to let go of her. These guys have these big, strong feet right here, so you can see these big kickers that she's trying to use to kick me. She can jump really high. She can jump 6 feet. So if I was standing, she could jump on my head very easily. I'm not 6 feet. She could jump over my head if she wanted to. She can also jump. She also run around 15 miles per hour. So this is one fast little girl. We don't want to lose her. All right. So
He's so cute.
said her fur is super, super soft. She has one of the softest fur coats ever. Super soft. And it's super helpful when she's out in the cold, the really, really thick, bad cold, because her fur is so thick. It's so thick that this girl doesn't have to worry about bugs or fleas or any sort of parasites like that, because they can't survive in her fur. She doesn't have to worry about that. My goodness, you're being ridiculous. All right, she also has something called a fur slip. So that means if my friend, come on, buddy. What are you doing? All right, are you more comfortable here? All right. So she has something called a fur slip. So that means if someone were to grab my friend, try to turn her into lunch. Stop biting me. Try to turn her into lunch, and they were to grab her fur. That fur is just going to come right out. It's not going to pull. It's not going to hurt her, and she can keep on running to go live to see another day. Now, if I were to, come on, girl. Now, if I were to get grabbed, I'm going to go wherever they want me to. So this girl, she doesn't have that problem, and that helps her out when she's out in the wild. What are you doing? Calm down. All right, let's see if we can do this. Let's see. All right. For this one, we're just going to see my friend here. All right, come on. Hang out. Okay. So these guys live in big families. They live in groups of around 100. Hey, would you stop biting me? She's trying to nibble on me. Hey, cut it out. Come here. Come here. Right. Cut it out. All right. So they live in groups of about 100. I'm sorry, guys. She's just acting crazy. They live in groups of about 100. And when they're out looking for food, they will have one of these guys out. They will, one person will be out looking out for predators out in the sky, or out, looking forward. And to see if they
His whiskers are so big.
And if they come across a predator, then they're going to let all of their other chinchilla friends know a predator is near and that we need to run to safety.
He's so cute. His nose is big and his ears are big.
They are herbivores, which means that they like veggies and grains and seeds and such. So, and they also do their hunting at dusk and dawn. There's something called crepuscular. Would you stop it? Calm down, little girl. There's something called crepuscular, which means that they only really come out at dusk and dawn, which is something to consider if you were to ever get one of these guys as a pet. Now, this guy is he's on his bad day. I don't know what's going on, but he's not very happy with me. Usually, he is much more calm and sweeter. I want to keep that in mind, and typically, chinchillas are a little bit more calm. They're, a little scared because they're small rodents, but he is acting super crazy today. You calm down. See, you're fine. Say hello. You look, and this is actually how they sit when they eat. So when they eat, they just sit on their hind feet and they'll hold their food with their hands. It's very, very cute. Let's see if I'll make him feel better with a treat. Okay. All right. these guys love.
Don't touch my cookies.
But yeah, I'm gonna give him a chinchilla cookie, which is an almond. These guys love almonds. Here you go. Look at this. See, there you go. See, now you're fine. Now you calm down. You can see how here you eat. They will sit on their hind feet and they will eat with their hands. No. It's right in front of you. Yep. There you go. You silly little creature. All right. So I'm gonna leave him sitting, but when they are high up in the mountains, they will actually use their tails.
You have to put your tickets into certain things.
They will use their tail for balance. So just like if we were to stick our hands out when going on a balance beam, his tail will work in the same way. They'll stick it out if you were to turn one way, his tail would go
Don't
the
touch
other way,
my cookies.
vice versa, so that he can stay balanced, which is great. Great for him because he's high up in the mountains. You know, he could easily fall, and he doesn't want to do that. He wants to avoid doing that. You know, so that's a good thing for this guy. All right, so he's finally calmed down. You know, which is good. All right, you can see he's got these big ears, which are great for listening for predators. They're also great at managing temperature because it's so big and he's got a lot of blood vessels in his ears. He can cool down because he's got such a big, such thick fur that overheating can be a problem for him that he wants to avoid, and his ears help him do that. And he's also got these adorable big whiskers. Those are fantastic when he's out hunting. Well, not hunting. When he's out looking for his food, he can actually feel with his whiskers. Right now, he can feel my fingers, and that can let him know when he can't really see very well because it's dark out. That something is right there. He's got to turn, or else he's gonna knock himself into a wall. You know. So those are cool things about him. I think I'm gonna get out ahead and put him back because he's being nutty today. All right, and I'm gonna bring out somebody who's gonna be a little more. Hopefully, it's gonna be a little more cooperative. All right. So we did fuzzy then. Now we're doing scaly. So this is my friend Puff. He is a dragon. You think he breathes fire? What are you gonna say, huh? No, he doesn't breathe fire. But he is a bearded dragon, and that's where he gets his name. Now you can see
A dragon.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't he look like a dragon? Is he a cool one? He's very cool. So he's called a bearded dragon because of his beard right here. Now he's got extra skin right here, you know, and you can see how right now it's kind of dark. That means he's not the happiest of campers right now because when he gets scared, when he comes across somebody who's trying to turn him into lunch, or when he comes across another boy bearded dragon, he is going to put on a show to make him look like a big tough guy. And the way he does that is that he darkens the skin underneath his chin, and he also puffs it out, so you go like that. But it's all in the bottom part of his beard, and then he's going to puff out his shoulders and the scales on the side of his head, and then he's going to go rawr like that. And that is his big tough guy act to try and scare away whatever he's trying to scare away, whether it's another boy bearded dragon that he feels is in his area, or if it's something that's trying to turn him into lunch. He's hoping that big scary stance is going to scare him away so he can live to see another day, you know, and that's what he wants, you know. Hold on. Admitting people. Okay. So my friend here, as you can see on his back, you can see he's got these spikes down the side. He is a yellowish, tannish color, and he's got these very spiky scales. Now, these are great because he lives in the desert. He lives in desert-like areas and grasslands in Australia. And this is perfect for him to help him blend in plain sight. So, you know, so if he's lying on the ground or if he's basking on a rock or such things, he can sort of blend in plain sight, which makes him harder to see from any sort of predatory bird that might be in the sky looking for a snack. Because he does not want to become lunch, you know, sir. These guys love to impress the ladies. They will do similar yet different dances when trying to impress the girls. You know, because they always want to have the most amount of girlfriends, and whoever does the coolest dance gets the girls. That is something that they love to do. They communicate in lots of cool different ways. These guys will wave. They will actually wave to other bearded dragons. They'll bob their head. They'll go like that. You know. So they'll bob their head just to communicate with other bearded dragons. You know. These guys are pretty common as pets. You know, which is pretty cool. As you can see, he's very chill. He's very calm. You know, they can which makes them pretty decent pets. You know, they're fun to just watch them hang out, watch them eat their food. Let's see if he'll eat this for me. What? No? No? You want it? What is that? What is that? Now you notice what it is. There you go. See? And you can see how he just stuck out his tongue, and he's got a sticky tongue that he uses, and that helps him. It sticks to the bug, and he can pull it in and munch it up. You know, we don't really like to munch on bugs, but he sure does. He loves bugs, as well as plants and small rodents and lizards and such like that, because he is also an omnivore, which means he likes to eat both. You know, so when he is hunting for food, if you can see him hunting for food in the wild, he will run after his dinner with his tongue out already, waiting until you just get close enough to go and grab it and pull it in with his sticky little tongue so he can munch it down nice and neat. Okay, so like I was saying before, they do make good pets. They're very calm, relaxed. They live around 8 to 13 years, depending on whether they're a boy or girl. Boys live a little bit longer, and that's because girls are quite good at babies and everything. So, yeah, that is my cool little friend, Mr. Beardy Dragon. Like I said, his name is Puff. He's very cute. He has a sister named Jupiter, and she is not my friend. She will blow up her beard every time I'm around. So it has been discussed that he doesn't like me very much. So that's that. Me and him are cool. Me and Puff are fine, but apparently Jupiter has a bone to pick with me. So, you know, it happens, but what are you going to do? All right. Okay, so that is my friend Puff. You can say, you know, bye, Puff. Bye. You gonna wave? No? No, I think he has I think he thinks that I have another worm for him, but I don't. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. No. All right, I'm gonna put him away and bring out the next guy. The next guy I'm bringing out is a little spryly, so it's going to take me one moment. Okay. All right, I got you. This is my friend TikTok. Say hello. Hi. He is a itty bitty baby, as you can tell from how small he is. And he is an American alligator. Is Suki saying hi? So he is an American alligator and not a crocodile. And there are a couple different ways we can tell why. So the first one is the shape of his snout. You can see he's got a U-shaped snout. Now, if he was a crocodile, he would have a V. But he has a U, so we know that he is a alligator and not a crocodile. Now, another way we can tell, which he's smiling, so I can't really do it at the moment, but he'll probably close his mouth. When he has his mouth closed, like now, as you can see, you can only see the top row of teeth. See that? Now, crocodiles you would be able to see the top and the bottom row of teeth. His bottom jaw is a little bit smaller. Oh, sorry. Is a little bit smaller, so that therefore his teeth overlap. His top jaw overlaps it, and you only see the top teeth. You know, and that's another way we can tell. You know, another different way is that American alligators typically prefer freshwater, whereas saltwater crocodiles tend to prefer saltwater. You know, there is a couple cases where they have been seen in the similar areas, and that's down in Florida. because you know, you apparently can find both in Florida. You know, they're called an American alligator because they're from America. You can find them in southern parts of the U.S. like Texas, Louisiana, and the Florida Everglades. You know, that is where they are known for. Yeah. All right. So as you can see, he's a baby. He's very small. He's only a couple months old. You know, but they'll grow pretty big. I think it's around on average a foot a year, if I'm not mistaken.
You're done. So is your done.
Yeah. So he is, and as you can tell, you can see he's got these patterns right here that go down his back. Those are spotted. Those are not spotted, stripped, and those will go away as he gets older, and it will be just one dark color that will be perfect for blending in with the murky water. Because these guys are apex predators, that means that they are at the top of the food chain. So, and they love to hunt in the water. They are perfect for hunting in the water, and a couple things about them help them out with that. One is their webbed feet. They have back webbed feet, as you can see. They've got this awesome, cool, big triangular tail, which is perfect for swimming, and it's really great for helping them turn really quickly. And that's great for them. They've also have also the shape of their head, as you can see, is kind of flat, and his ears, his eyes, and his nose are perfectly placed on the top of his head. So that way he can leave just those parts of his face above the water while keeping everything else hidden underneath the water. And that way he can kind of hide in plain sight, which is great because he loves to hide in the shallow areas of the water and wait until a mammal comes to get a drink of water on the water's edge. And once they do that, he is going to lunge forward. He's going to grab on him and he's going to pull him into the water and he's going to munch him up. And if he's too big to do that, to go from down, then he's going to do something called a death roll. The death roll means he's going to twist and turn and twirl around with his meal in his mouth until it is more sizable chunks for him to eat. You know, he is a carnivore, and they are not picky eaters at all. They are going to go after just about anything they feel they can turn into food. So, you know, and their diet will vary as their size. So these guys would be smaller rodents, fish, any sort of things like that, smaller animals. And then as they get bigger, so will their food. It would start being like large game and things like that, like deer and, you know, raccoons, all those sorts of things like that. You know, so another cool thing about them is that these guys are fantastic mommies. They are really great mommies. They take really great care of their babies, and that is not too common in the reptile community. A lot of times the mommy lays the eggs and then goes, "You're on your own," and the babies just have to figure it out. The mama alligator will lay her eggs in her nest, and then she's going to guard her nest for all the way up until they hatch. She is going to go after anything that gets near her eggs. She's going to take very good care of them. And then once they hatch, she's going to hear this adorable little yeet, 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 yeet. It's much cuter when they do it. This cute little yipping sound, and that lets her know that her babies have hatched. So she's going to kind of dig up her nest. She's going to collect all of her babies in her mouth, but she's not going to eat her babies. And she's going to take them down to a shallow pool of water, and then she's going to take care of them. Anywhere from up to several months to a year or two, until they are a bigger size to be able to take care of themselves. Because even though these guys are such big, bad predators, when they are adults, when they're little babies, when they're this size or smaller, they're actually pretty vulnerable. They turn into snacks for a lot of other things because, you know, they're so small, you know. And so mama helps edge the beds so more babies can get to adulthood and live a good long life. All right. I want to point out another cool thing about my friend here is that he's got built-in goggles for seeing underwater. You know how we have to use goggles if we want to go swimming and see underwater? Well, his are built right in his head, which is pretty cool because he has 3 eyelids. Humans only have 2. We have the top and the bottom. He has the top, the bottom, and a clear one that goes side to side. And I'm going to show you. Whoop. Can you see? He's taking a sweet time opening his eye. Come on. Really? All right, let's try this one. All right. Come on, buddy. You gotta work with me. See? You see that move, that thing that slid over? Yeah, that is his eyelid. Oh, no, you want to do it? Come on, take it. oh, there he goes. Yeah, he's on his way. Yeah, so those are great for when he's swimming because then he can see underwater. You know, he doesn't have to go to the store buy goggles. He can't really do that. So he has them built in and he can see underwater and when he's hunting, and that is fantastic for my friend here. So that is cool. So that is a couple of just cool things about my friend here. So like I said, he's very small now, but as adults, they can get anywhere from 13, I mean, the average is 8 to around 13 feet. I mean, you know, and that can vary. There have been people claiming they've seen much bigger ones and such and so on and so forth. That is around the average. With girls getting the average around 8 to 10 feet. You know, they're a little bit smaller. You know, so these guys are big guys. You know, he's small now, but one day he's going to be a big guy, big ancient alligator. But right now he's a tiny little alligator. It's very cute. Sorry, he's very adorable. And as you can see, he's pretty calm. When I first took him out, he was a little cranky, but he's calmed down a little bit now since then. Alrighty. So that is my friend TikTok. All right. So can you guys say see you later, alligator? Bye. All right. So I'm gonna put him away. I've got one more animal for you guys. I hope you guys are excited. I'm gonna have to back this up because he's a little bit bigger than everybody else, you know, and then do that. Put him over here. Had to make room for him. He's kind of a big boy. So this is my friend Onyx. Hold on a second, just admitting some people. Hello. So this is my friend Onyx. He is a Burmese Python. You can see him. He's one big boy, as you can see. He is from Southeast Asia. Hold on one second. Just making this good for everybody. Okay. So he is, like I said, he is a Burmese Python. These guys are from Southeast Asia. These guys are a constrictor snake. So that means he's not venomous. He does not inject his prey with venom. Instead, hold on, buddy, where are you going? Oh my goodness, he's just being all over. He hasn't been let out, so he's stretching his snake body. But so these guys are. Lost my train of thought. Okay, so these guys are from South. Okay, sorry, lost my train of thought there, guys. He is a constrictor snake. So he, instead of venom, he constricts his prey. He will bite it, he will wrap around it, and he'll squeeze it tight, give it a really tight hug until his dinner is nice and ready to eat. Now, as you can see, he's going all over me, and he may be a big boy, but he's not going to try to turn me into a snack. I don't have to worry about that. You know, where are you going? He doesn't want to turn me into a snack. He knows that even though he is a big boy, that I'm too big for him to turn into lunch. All right, so I want to show you a couple of things, how he finds his meals, and I'll explain it a little bit. Come on, buddy, you gotta work with me. So you can see it right here. He has got a forked tongue. I'm gonna try and get it to the screen, as you can see there. So he is not working with me, but he has got a forked tongue that he uses to smell/taste the air. He can actually smell and taste the air with his forked tongue, and it's forked for a reason. It's so when he tastes it on this side, the food on this side, he knows to go this way, and when he smells it on this side, he knows to go that way. And that's great for helping him hunt. Another thing that helps him out when he's hunting are these things above these little marks right above his nose that kind of look like extra nostrils. Those are called heat pits. So So those are great. You can actually tell that I'm around 98.6 degrees because I'm a person. Things that are smaller with more rapid heartbeat are higher temperature, and he can tell the difference between that. And so he'll know that that's lunch, that a rabbit might be lunch, but I'm not lunch. You know, so that helps him out greatly because they do not have great eyesight. He can see shapes, kind of, but not so much colors or anything. So those two things really help him out when he is looking for lunch. Okay. So, like I said, these guys are from Southeast Asia. However, they are an invasive species. So that means that they are in a place where they shouldn't be, and that is Florida. They are causing a big problem in the Florida Everglades, where they are eating everything in sight, everything that they can, and there's not a whole lot to eat them. You know, there's not really much. I mean, there are alligators, and there have been instances of those two things trying to munch on each other, and it's causing problems there. But yeah, they're stirring up a little bit of trouble in Florida, which isn't good. You know, it started in the 70s. A breeding facility for these guys got washed away in a hurricane, so all these babies got out in the wild. And since it's warm enough over there for these guys, they live and thrive. And that ended up with a lot of Burmese in the wild. So, you know. And that is not good because invasive species really aren't good for the ecosystem. It's called an ecosystem for a reason, and they can end up stirring a lot of trouble when animals are in places that they shouldn't be. You know, so that's no good. But despite them being a problem in Florida, people do have these guys as pets. You know, for a big python, they're actually pretty calm. You know, as you can see, he's not upset or anything that I'm holding him. He just wants to kind of check things out. I have something up here that he wants to climb behind me, you know, and so that's what he's doing. But typically, these guys are pretty good-natured animals. They are very good responsibility. Like I said, very big snake. My friend here is probably around 11 feet at the moment, but he's still got some growing to do. On average, they can get around 15. They're a boy, and girls can get even bigger on average. I think around 20 feet on average for females. Females have to be bigger because they're the ones that make babies. So these guys make a lot of babies when they get older. Like once they get to a breeding size, I think
Who's Ryan?
30 eggs, and as they get bigger, they can just do more and more. And with touches of around like 40 to 50 being pretty common among like full-grown females, you know? And so that's one of the reasons that they cause such a problem in Florida is that they are just making babies. There's not a whole lot to munch on them to keep them in balance, you know? So that's one thing. They're a little problematic, and that's one thing. That's a reason why you should never release your pet into the wild. You know, if you can't care for it anymore, try to find it a new home. But releasing into the wild is never good for an animal or the wild. So yeah, that's just a couple things about this guy. You know, as you can see, I think he's very cute. You know, the cool thing about the virtual shows is that I can put him right in the camera. Obviously, in an actual show, I'm not too good at. I wouldn't do that to you guys. You know, don't want to freak you out, but you know. So that is my friend Onyx. You know. Sorry, talking a lot here. Sorry. So that is my friend Onyx. There we go. Okay. All right, where are you going? All right. So here at Rizzo's Reptiles, they only eat frozen fed. We don't feed them anything live. We don't think that's right for them. So we describe it just like how you and I will go to the store to get frozen chicken to defrost for dinner. Well, we go to a different store and we get some meat. We get some dinner for them. We defrost it for them to eat. So, you know, and we feed them, you know, rodents and things like that. And even if it's frozen thawed, they still like to grab it and wrap around it and before munching on it and eating it whole. Because these guys have rear hooked teeth, so they can hook from the back. They're kind of like hooks like this, and which is great for hooking onto their prey, but not for chewing it. They can't really chew it. So instead, they extend their jaw. They do not unhinge their jaw. That is a common myth. But they have a flexible jaw that they use, and they essentially slowly move once they have moved one side of the jaw, then the other side of the jaw, and then back and forth. And it's called walking. And then they slowly get their mouths over their food, and then they swallow it. And so they swallow in one big bite. They are not much for chewing. And so that is my friend Onyx. That is my friend Mr. Mixing up names. He is Onyx, the Burmese Python. You know, he looks a little different than those in the wild. He's a different morph, that's what it's called. It's really just morph means pattern. So some can come bred in different patterns. In the wild, they are darker and dark greens and browns and such to help him really blend in with the forest floor, you know, which is great for him because these guys are, when they're in the wild, when they're babies, they will live up in the trees. That's where they like to live when they're smaller. But once they get to a certain size, they're going to start breaking the branches that they're on. So they end up on the floor. They end up on the ground, and after they end up on the ground, they will start preferring to do their hunting in the water because they're not a very fast snake. They're very big, so they're not very fast. So in the water, they can move a little bit quicker because, you know, like how you and I can swim a little bit faster than we might be able to move around on land. It's the same kind of thing for him, this guy. So, alrighty. That is all my animals today. I hope you guys had a great time checking them out. I had an awesome time showing you guys. And I believe now we're going to do some announcements or questions. Do you guys have any questions first? You guys can unmute yourselves. At the moment, I think you guys, you have the option to do that. Right? Yes. I can't like mass unmute you guys.
Snakes are gross.
Oh, they're a little misunderstood. You know, a little creeped out, but look at him. He's just hanging out on me. He's just kind of a big derpy.
The ones I love were the toad and the frog.
Yeah, you liked him? Yeah, he's cool.
And the snake that's on your neck.
Right, yeah, he's cool. He's very cool.
I hate toad and frog. I love the other ones that you showed us.
Oh, thank you.
I love animals.
Oh my gosh. All right, any other questions?
I love animals.
Me too. Aren't they great? Animals are awesome.
Yeah.
Especially there's a snake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those snakes.
I think all the animals you showed were really good.
Thank you. I love my animals. I'm glad that you think they're cool.
I thought you were going to show a spider. Oh, next time when you show us animals, you should show us a tarantula.
Okay, next time I will do that.
How did you make spiders? Don't go and get a spider. Do not. I thought you were. Oh, I asked for tarantula spiders.
All right, Tess, I think we're going to do our announcements now. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Okay. Silence.
How did you make friends with the snake?
I'm just kidding. Hold on. Let's all get muted so we can hear all the names. We got to mute.